The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mists of Kren's Valley. I think we'll just get right into it because we ended in mid-combat. So we're starting a whole new round as the group is fighting a giant kaiju bird, vulture bird thing. I think Saxton's on top of it. Hemlock got rolled over top of her, and now she's running down the mountain, shooting lightning at its face. I believe Tim-Tam's even further up the mountain, just shooting at it. And
I think
Nyhm just... Oh, no, yeah, you tried to get out of the way, and you barely got hit by it.
rolled over, yeah.
Yeah. And where was Nyhm at?
After doing some serious stabbing damage, dodged out of the way. I think I was under a wing.
That's right.
Somewhere in a tree, maybe?
No, I was still on the ground.
It's a mobile tree.
Being. There are no trees on the mountain. Give me a break.
It's an enchanted ficus.
We... It is Nym's turn as we start. I believe that the bird is no longer stunned, no longer prone. It actually got up.
Okay, but Saxton is still pulling a.
He's still on its back. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name's game.
Shadow Colossus.
Thank you, that one. He's pulling a Shadow of Colossus, and Hemlock was in front of him. I don't want to get back in front of its face, so I'm going to chuck a dagger at it since I get my sneak attack damage.
Okay. Plenty of allies within 5 feet of it.
Indeed. Let me see here. Dagger chuck begins.
Oh, might help if I had the stats up for it.
That might help, because a dagger chuck of 25.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
I hope so. So I keep forgetting that it's technically 1d4 first, and then the 4d6. So we get 9, 10, 12 piercing damage.
Hey. Dagger sticks right into it. You don't even see the hilt. It's buried somewhere in its feathers.
Oof. I'm going to keep my distance. I don't want to get any closer to this thing at the moment.
Okay. Which direction do you...
Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask, what direction do you go? Do you keep on the same elevation of the mountain? Because you guys are like almost at the bottom. The trees are starting to be visible. They're about 100 feet down. You can continue on the side of the mountain, sideways, or you can be going down the mountain, or you could be going back up the mountain.
Is there any sizable rocks or pebbles that I can hide behind?
Let's see what Lady Fate has to say.
If you're rolling, that means a no.
Yes, actually, there is.
Oh, I'm damned. I will stop cursing your dice then. Yeah, I will take my movement to get behind one of the rocks and take my bonus action for a dodge, or a hide, rather.
All right, to hide it from the rock, you hide it behind a rock. Got it. So.
How many rocks are there?
Lots. Due to what I rolled,
I get to roll
lots.
Yeah,
do I get to roll my stealth at advantage because I'm using a rock to hide from a rock?
No. Nice try, though.
Okay. Oh,
you still get a roll stealth, though.
Yeah. 24.
Okay. There's a convenient Nyhm-shaped rock that you hide behind.
I'd like to think she dove to the rock, threw the dagger in midair, and then just caught behind the rock.
All right.
Can't stop the rock.
That's Nym's turn?
Yes, that's everything.
Okay, up next after Nyhm is Saxton. So Saxton, you are currently on this thing's back. And it got up, so it's not like a flat surface anymore, it's a bit elevated. You're probably holding onto your sword that's stabbed into it. It does not look happy about it.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to grab the sword and then try to straddle its neck and try to tame it.
Its next diameter is about 20 feet.
Well, I can still straddle it.
You're like a bug bite on its back, sword stabbed in it.
Okay. Well, can I still try to tame it?
In what way?
Try to break it like a bronco.
Okay, so you're gonna hold on and try to force it to do what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
So, animal handling?
No. Trying to think what
Probably
this
too
would even
small
be.
for that. How tall are cloud giants? Because I know those guys tame rugs, but you probably we're too small.
A rock is a size category bigger than them. So you can have like two
Hmm.
cloud giants on the back of a rock, just to give you an idea of how big these birds are. I believe cloud giants
I
are
respect them more
around
now.
18 to 20 feet tall or something. I don't know. Somewhere official. They're the second biggest. I know that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sure. Give me a strength animal handling check.
I won't burn my inspiration as well.
I will use my reaction
Hmm?
to give +5 to that thing. And I still got 2 more.
18 with a +5 on the first one.
Okay. So you're on its back with the sword, and you're trying to steer it around to do what you want. What are you trying? What direction are you trying to make it move?
Turn away from the allies towards the tree line.
There is a lot of resistance, but it starts turning that direction. Nyhm, even though you're hiding under some stuff, the giant wing just like goes over top of you, as its like wings come out. It's like forcibly being pulled in one direction. It moves maybe 30 degrees at this point. And that's Saxton's turn.
Oh, no.
Okay, that would be your action then.
Okay, I'll use my bonus action to Fury of Blows. Kicking at its side, try to break it. 18.
18 hits.
10 damage.
Okay.
And I need a strength saving.
Strength save, you said?
Yes.
27.
Okay, that works. So I'll kick him on the other side with a 17.
17 hits.
It's going to be 5 damage.
Okay.
And give me a deck save.
$11.
He is.
Oh, wait. Sorry, 15. Sorry. I'm sorry.
He passes.
Okay. I forgot they're proficient.
That'll be turn.
Okay. As you're doing that, Tim-Tam, you clearly saw that because you used your reaction. That Saxton's trying to control this Titanous creature. as it is your turn. You're about 120 feet above it, I think. If I remember right. Because it slid down.
Saxton, it's one. Who is 100 and whatever?
You are up on the mountain because it slid down the mountain originally.
From the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 100 and how much?
20.
Okay. It's too far. Is any ally of mine close enough for me to? I mean, close and hurt
How's Hemlock looking?
within my movement?
I think Hemlock's the closest.
I think Hemlock about half.
Okay, I will dash and I mean not dash. I mean run and cast Cure Wounds on Hemlock.
Thank you.
Okay.
For 11.
Before you do that, sorry. She's the closest, but you would have to dash to get to her.
So there's no ally in movement range.
Nope. Exactly, kitty cat.
Okay.
Exactly.
I will grab Tim-Tam
Mm-hmm.
and dash. How's Saxon looking on top of that thing?
I'm looking good.
And health-wise, also good?
Not even a scratch.
Okay. And I will dash towards Hemlock.
Okay.
And I will let me check the range of the turret. I think it's 120. But would I be further right now if I dash?
If you dash, your movement's 30, isn't it?
My movement is 30, yeah.
Then you would be 60 feet away from it after the dash.
Oh, okay. So I'm moving, but I move towards Hemlock. Hemlock is closer to the rock then. Okay.
She's like directly below you on the mountain ravine.
Okay.
She's still shooting pink lightning at it. It's like a tether connecting.
I will yell at Saxon. Do you want us to keep shooting at this thing, or you think you can? Whatever you're trying to do.
Break it or burn it. I don't care.
I will shoot Tim-Tam then.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Okay.
29.
Yay.
It's yeah.
So roll me that D100. As we use
Oh,
Zenithar's
yeah.
last notes and everything else, one of the top selling products in the DM's.
If anything, I'm steering it away from the allies.
2.
2.
Yeah.
The shot, I'm going to say, had enough impact, a force did, that the rock slides down just a teeny bit more on the mountain. You could say they get pushed back 5 feet. So it's barely even noticeable.
Yeah. Okay.
How much damage?
So 26 force damage. And it pushes the rock a little tiny bit more.
Okay. As it's sliding down, Saxton, give me a dex save. As what you're on is shifting against its will. Not really keeping balance super well.
18.
Okay. You were able to like brace yourself and hold on. You grab like two feathers, one in each hand, and just hold on. And does Tim-Tam do anything else?
No, that's my turn. I'm dashed and bonus action fire Tim-Tam.
Okay. And it is Hemlock's turn.
Yeah, gonna keep shooting the pink lightning.
Okay, which bolt? I believe as long as it's connected, you just do more damage.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't have to.
Yeah.
It just says you can use your actions to deal the amount of damage. Okay, I should move these books, but D12, so 4D12.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
this bird is very heavily injured at this point.
well. It's not.
Really?
This sucks.
Oh, hi, Iogolander. They're
Oh,
they're in the southern part of Barovia, which in Humblewood is called Kren's Valley. They're on the side of a mountain where there's a rock, and a rock is a titanically huge bird that giants use as mounts, just to give you an idea how big this bird is. And they're beating the crap out of it.
yeah, so he only takes 10 lightning damage from my witch bolt
Okay.
because I rolled really bad, but I do not think I
Do you
anything
do-
else.
That was your action. So do you do anything else in your
Yeah.
turn?
I'm looking to see if I have a bonus action. I don't think I do.
Yes, they are stuck between a rock and a hard place. That joke was made many times.
I literally was stuck between a rock and a hard place.
It might have
Uh,
rolled over top of a few of them.
I mean, the rock is a hard place.
I can't use a reaction, right?
Reactions require a trigger to use.
Okay. Okay. Then I don't do anything else.
Okay. On the rock's turn, it thought it was getting an easy meal. Clearly that's not the case, and this thing's not stupid. So it takes off. And as it takes off, I need a strength save from Nyhm, from Tim-Tam, and from Hemlock, as the sheer wind of it moving its wings to elevate itself in the air, the wind blasts all of you.
Is it Saxton on top of it?
Yeah. He needs a dex
Okay.
save.
Oh,
So if I fail my strength save, do I have to make a constitution save too?
Yes. You're not going to take damage
Okay.
from this, but I would say that would be a concentration breaker possibility on a spell.
Yeah.
Me too, Dex.
Yeah, for Saxton's dex. Or strength, your choice.
so what are we rolling for? Dex or?
Everybody but Saxton is rolling strength saving throws, and Saxton
Oh.
can choose either strength or dex. Because for Saxton, it's not the wind, it's just trying to hold on while it's going.
I got a 22 for that.
Okay.
18 for strength on Nyhm.
Okay.
7.
9 for strength, which I'm sure is not good enough,
All right.
and then an 8 for concentration.
All right. So here's what happens. Pulls its wings in the air, blows them into the ground, dust and stuff goes flying everywhere. Everybody but Saxton moves 10 feet away from this rock as the wind blows you back and you're all knocked prone. And it takes off into the air. and starts arcing around the mountain. And as its action for its dash, it's going to try to get Saxton off of its back. So it does a barrel roll. Saxton.
How high it is?
Oh. Thank you for the big hug, Aya. And she just cheered a whole bunch of bits for everybody. Tribute to the Duck God. Thank you. Our Strahd von Duckovich. Why, thank you. Bleh. I think about it, he should be right here. Camera? Yep. Yep. That works. Okay. Can't see it on the screen, but whatever. You guys can see it in the call. For those at home. See, I got it in the bottom corner. Whoop. Saxton, I need another strength saving throw. This one's to hold on. This isn't about dexterity this time. It's sheer just grabbing on and holding on as it does I guess it's technically not a barrel roll. It's whatever
19.
they call it a barrel roll. You are just barely able to hold on as just your hands are holding on to the sword for just a brief moment there during the spin as it starts flying.
Hey, Mav, you should know what he's talking about. Not the barrel roll. What's the actual name for it?
Don't know if he's talking like an aileron roll or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one. Because Star Fox was like, do a barrel roll, and it's technically not a barrel roll. But now everyone thinks it's whatever. Anyway, so
But, I mean, the bird like pressed B on the side,
mhm.
right?
Mhm. So it moves really far away from everybody else but Saxton. Essentially, when the dust
Saxton!
clears, the bird is pretty much gone for you all. And it's like 200 feet at like a diagonal angle away from everybody. Sorry, 240 feet away. Come up, kitty cat. Oh, there he goes. Okay. So, on that note, it is Nym's turn. You are still
Okay,
hidden.
well-
In fact, you're even more hidden as a bunch of dust and little pebbles and stuff just coated over top of you in your hiding spot.
Well, on the bright side,
Oh,
being a Jerbeen, I don't have to.
And snow. I forgot. There's a lot of snow.
So luckily, being a Jerbeen, they don't have to spend any of movement to get up. So Nyhm just pops right back up. How far is far? I'm assuming like over 150 at least.
From your current location, it's more than 240 feet away. Because
So
it dashed.
I'm gonna. I got you. I'm going to brush the dust off and just kind of stare into the distance, because I'm not going to try and do anything.
All right. You notice Saxton isn't here.
I would have noticed him on the back of the rock beforehand, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would have just assumed that he was still there upon liftoff, and there's not exactly a whole lot of Jerbeen can do at this point.
The valley echoes with a hideous screech of the bird at the end of your turn, as I believe it is Saxton's turn. Saxton,
Okay.
you're on its back, pretty much clinging on for dear life. Well, not really, because you can just glide. But there's a lot of wind up here.
All right. I'm just going to start hacking and slashing this thing.
Okay.
18,
18 hits.
11 damage.
All right.
Slice with the sword again.
Screeches in pain.
20,
Falters a bit.
24.
24 to hit.
24.
That hits.
10 damage. Fury of Blows time.
No need. It is at this point
What?
At the bird, as quickly as it got up into the air, it starts descending and falling into the woods down below. The rest of you hear its death screech as it falls into the woods. And a bunch of ravens escape from the tree lines as it lands on him. Give me a dexterity saving throw, Saxton, as you plummet with the bird.
22.
Now, all rules in 5e are kind of silly, but I use them anyway. For every 10 feet you've fallen, minus the first 10 feet, it's a d6 worth of damage.
And I can glide. So I
Yes.
could have jumped off any time.
But you were using your action to attack it. Oh, yeah, wait, no, I think you need your bonus action to glide. Do you glide off of it?
Yes.
Okay. Which direction do you glide towards?
I'll glide back towards the base of the mountain where the allies saw my allies.
Okay. I'm just going to roll anyway. You would have taken half of half. Because you would have took half because the rock was taking most of the damage for you. It would have been like 13 damage or something. But you glide down to everybody else.
Oh, so I say I could also, since I'm a monk, I can reduce fall damage.
That too. So you glide back in style. No big deal. 200 feet fall, whatever. You glided another 200 feet to get back to everybody.
Land and dust myself off.
We're technically out of initiative now, but it would have took you probably a turn or a few turns to glide back to everybody.
I will cast Cure Wounds on Hemlock still.
Oh.
Cure Wounds. Here it is.
You all can see what...
Wow, max 13.
Ooh.
Are you looking okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Garfield. I'm sorry. Okay. Is everybody looking okay? Saxton, you doing good still?
Still dusting myself. Right as rain, love.
Nyhm? I know we had like a little bit of a, miscommunication, but if you would like to be healed, like, let me know.
You don't see Nyhm anymore.
Okay,
Son of
Can
a
we-
bitch, I lost my knife.
Nyhm. Okay, can we group meeting? Come on, everybody, come here.
Nym's not here.
No, you
I
hear
heard-
that from behind the rock.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard Nyhm curse.
Oh, okay.
That's when you realize where Nyhm is, because Nyhm technically was still hiding the whole time.
I will just assume Nyhm is on my back or something. Group meeting, everyone. Okay, so from now on, it's very important that we communicate with the team, and like under any circumstance, let's not ever try to speak with an animal that's bigger than a horse. Okay?
What if it's a nice
I know
looking-
Hemlock sacrifices must be made, but we cannot like run into a situation like this again, because now it's a giant freaking bird, but next time it can be like a werewolf or something, you don't know. So nothing bigger than a horse. I'm giving you that because a horse can still hurt us a lot. Nothing bigger than that we try to talk or make friends with. Okay?
Okay, but if it if it looks like it's gonna kill us, and I feel the need, like I have the feeling inside of my heart, Tim-Tam, that I need to talk to this beautiful creature because I feel like it could get us out of something. Then
but-
can I?
Counterpoint. Why did you think a 60 or 80 feet wingspan bird of prey
Well, like 200.
Couldn't hurt us.
Okay. In my defense, I didn't talk to him until after he had me in its claws. The only reason why I engaged with it was because Nyhm started running towards me.
Okay, that's fair.
Screaming, don't talk to the bird.
Screaming.
So how bad is the tree line down there? Is it pretty broken up?
Oh yeah,
Man, that's going to stink up the forest.
it's visible above the trees. It's gorgeous.
But Hemlock
One of the wings
bow,
clearly broke in a
solemnly
weird
swear.
angle.
I
Okay,
solemnly swear.
At least that bird will feed the wolves for a month.
It is at this point a feather the size of Tim-Tam falls right next to the group.
A freezing eye.
Doesn't work. It's just a rock's feather.
No,
AKA
it's
a
not.
really big feather. Not magical. Maybe good for
Can
tickling
I
a
have a look?
giant, but that's pretty much it.
Hmm.
So hang on.
I
If
bet some giant is into that.
I have to ask, if I get a hold of the rock feather, does that mean my jumping ability gets even better? Thank you, Lluis, for catching the Legend of Zelda reference there.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say you can use it like the bird folk use their glide abilities, but it's only half your movement.
That thing is 3 times my size. I was only making a Legend of Zelda joke. I am
I
not
know
even
you
going
were.
near that feather. Okay.
But you have a
But I'm
parachute
just saying,
now.
Clear.
if I was like, wait a minute. Actually, yeah, it's so big you could use it as a glider.
You know, she could just cut the tip off and make it a new dagger.
That'd be a short sword.
Well,
Be a freaking
Be more
great
like a
sword.
club, actually.
I think we're getting off topic.
well, I want to take this feather and write a letter to someone very angrily.
What? A?
Yes. And I want to need a giant well of ink.
All
Fight
Kraken,
a giant squid.
all Kraken swim away as fast as possible.
We don't try to make friends with krakens, okay?
I'm going to write a fairly sternly worded letter to Tsarevich.
The
Lluis,
pain in Hemlock dies.
Lluis, you don't get to say that. Not with the art that you draw.
But okay, the art I draw and my characters are two different things.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I just remembered, how is everybody dressed? I know Saxton's shirtless and wearing shorts.
Let me look.
I only remember because
I'm wearing
Commissioner.
I'm wearing a bunch of stuff, but a scale mail also.
It's a dress. It looks like this.
Okay, so like a traveling dress, common dress.
Yes.
Okay.
Nym's just in some dark leather garb.
Okay. You are all just
Kinky.
realizing how effing cold it is. As the wind blows and you can feel it like go through you.
Oh, gee, Willikers, this
Oh,
it's
what time
freezing
is
through
it,
my
by
nips.
the way?
Oh, look, the turkeys are done.
What time is it? Is it day? I mean, day.
It appears to be daytime.
Okay.
At least what you've gotten used to being daytime.
Because I forgot like a quick recap. Where did we come from and how long have we been traveling?
You guys were on that giant hill with the druids and barbarian guys
Oh,
attacking
yeah.
you. You ran away from them to follow the bear, who turned out to be that mad mage that attacked you guys before. He agreed to
Yeah.
help you, but he still doesn't fully trust you guys. And he lets you stay in his magnificent mansion that he made with
Yeah.
magic. He told you about this city in the march, this what used to be a village in the march called Berez. Apparently some witch lives there. And I think you guys were about to head that way when you saw the rock and everything happened.
So it's still like not even noon.
No,
Okay.
actually,
So
where is it?
so we literally got stopped by the rock.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't stop the rock.
And then he hit rock bottom.
It is then when you're remembering what the heck you're doing and thinking about how the Mad Mage was talking about this marsh that was once a village. You remember one of your fortunes. The fortune saying, "I see a kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak."
So, shall we head there?
Yeah.
Alright, so on the map that I gave you guys are on the southern coast of the Luna Lake. And as you notice, there's like a little bridge thing. But if you follow the river up north, it would lead you right to it. But you would still need to cross the river at some point.
Nyhm, you want to take that feather for a boat?
I could technically wrap myself in the feather and be considered warm garb, wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, no.
Ah,
More just because it's like trying to hold up a kite to keep the wind off of you.
I was thinking it was more like down, but okay.
No, this is
Can
definitely
I-
one of the bigger feathers.
You can always get warm in the bird fluff.
It's not a tauntaun. Let's not go there.
You're pretty sure once you get out of the mountains and stuff, and you guys keep moving, you guys will do better. Just up here,
March on
there's
down the mountain
nothing
then.
blocking the wind. So,
Could I like at least mechanically? I don't know how it would work, but can I like change Tim-Tam to the flamethrower, spending first level spell slot to the flamethrower 1 and keep us warm because it can like technically shoot every minute. Like
sure, I'll say it just every once in a while. But it's loud and it's bright, so there would be no... If you guys were trying to be sneaky, that would not be possible.
I mean, if we're not going to die or anything,
But it would keep
I
you
won't
warm.
do it. But if the cold is like really intense, like it's actually uncomfortable, I will do that.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. You're all probably now shivering now that the adrenaline has worn off.
Okay, I will do that then.
How far up the mountain are we still?
They were about 100 feet up from the tree line.
No, once we get down to the tree line, it really won't matter, so just head down that way.
All right, so you begin to travel, and I believe when you guys were up here, I had you guys observe so you could look around and stuff, and you saw the hill way in the distance, and you saw this city, the sunken village as well. That was up the river a ways. So as you're heading up that way, you pass the gargantuan corpse of the rock. And as you're going past it, or at least in that area, you hear talking and stuff. But nothing's
get my knife
visible
back?
because it's like it's in the woods area and you guys are following the river banks, so you guys are like at the edge of the tree line. But the rock itself crashed much further in the tree line.
Never mind.
So it's nothing's visible, but you can hear people talking. Can't really make out what they're saying. You guys just keep going.
You guys want to get some meat from the rock and like eat it?
Okay.
So first you were trying to befriend it, and now you want to eat it.
You
I-
killed it. You
I
killed
will-
it.
You
Hemlock,
helped.
are you that hungry?
No, I was just.
I still have some wolf jerky if you want.
No, I mean, sorry, I'm just surprised. I understand your thinking. It's a big chunk of meat,
Yeah, that's what
but
I was thinking.
I am surprised. I mean, I would have expected what you said from anyone before you.
Okay, so while this discussion's going on, I would like to get over and at least attempt to retrieve my knife.
Okay, so you go into the woods stealth. Give me a stealth check.
Absolutely. 21.
Oh, sorry, long cat. So you sneak through the bushes and stuff, and as you get up to the relative clearing that was made from the crash itself, you see 5 scraggly-looking hunter guys. 3 of them are Volpum, so the fox-like, wolf-like race, canine-like race, I should say. One of them is a Jerbeen, and the 5th one is a Batra. They're all wearing like hide clothing and stuff. They got spears, and they're checking out the body and stuff. And it looks like they're trying to survey what part of it they're going to take. Or something. They're also looking up at the mountain.
So I have no belief that they'd be considered hostile, or had they just not seen me yet?
They haven't seen you, but I mean, they look like they're just hunters. They got a bunch of fur pelts on their backs and stuff, and like rabbits.
Okay. If that's the case, then yeah, I'll just stroll up, grab my dagger, and see if I can't get some information out of them.
All right. As you stroll up, they all are on alert, and they grab their spears tighter and look at you. And as that happens, they one of the Volpum in a deep voice says, "Who goes there?"
Name's Nyhm, rock killer.
Nyhm.
Yank my dagger out.
Give me a perception check as you look for your dagger.
Okay. This is going to be horrible. That's not too bad. 16.
You're looking for a dagger and a feather stack. But I will say you do eventually find it.
Not as smooth as I was hoping, but at least I got my dagger back.
And they just look over you inquisitively. They seem to be like sizing you up. Doesn't take too long.
I was about to make that joke, and I can't tell if you making it before me is technically racist or if it's just better brain power.
Yes.
I like to think the latter, but but that also still makes me a douche, so I don't win either way. Anyway,
Mycest?
speciest.
Specious.
Yeah, right.
Regardless, one of them is a Jerbeen. So
I
he's
thought all of
just
them
like,
except one was Jerbeen.
yeah, one of them is a Jerbeen.
I thought you said all of them except the one were Jerbeen. The one was a Batra.
Three Vulpin, one Jerbeen,
instead
one
of
Badger.
Vulpin.
Ah, my apologies then. I completely misheard that.
And you just take the dagger and you leave.
No, I actually wanted to approach them and see if I couldn't get some information about the lay of the land or any directions they could point us in. Landmarks, villages, anything like that.
Well, there's that. I think the nearest town is Kresik up north. A few miles.
Nothing in the marsh.
No. Nothing in the marsh. Nothing in the marsh worth seeing.
That we're seeing, but there is something.
The land was flooded a century ago. At least that's what I've heard. Just a marsh now. No
Okay,
game there.
So then
It's cold and wet.
that does beg the question. What was there before the flood?
Some town. It was before I was born. Why do you ask?
Technically looking for it.
Well, if you head up the river, you'd be hard to miss.
That's what we're looking for. Enjoy the meat. And I'll start heading back.
They shrug. One of them takes out a dagger, and they look like they're going to start to get to work as you head back. What's the rest of the group doing? Actually, you probably just noticed that Nyhm was gone as Nyhm comes back.
So we're still talking.
Mhm.
I'm like, I care about the nutrients of all of you. I could just eat drink. You know, I don't eat meat. So why would I want,
Oh no, I'm okay with that. I'm sorry if it came out in the wrong way. I'm just surprised that you said that. I mean, this meat, it's not going to waste, I'm sure. Soon, a lot of wolves and other creatures will come looking for its meat, so we probably shouldn't
As
stay
you're,
here for long.
as you're
but-
coming back, Nyhm, through the bushes, there is a howl really close nearby in the direction that you just came from, Nyhm.
See, like a super quick question, can I roll an Arcana to see if there's any rock part that can be used as a component or for magic stuff? Like, I don't know, rock feather for magic wands or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 10. Rolled a 2.
Not of any on top of your head. I mean, these things were just of legend.
Okay.
Like you'd read about that this thing existed in a book somewhere, but you'd never know more than that, to your knowledge.
And now they no longer exist.
oh no, that just makes me feel a lot worse for asking if we should eat it.
I'm sure that's not true.
Would we have heard the wolf howl?
Yes, it was really close.
Let's go.
Oh, we should go there. Yes.
It's more of what made you guys look that direction to notice Nyhm was coming back.
Nyhm,
Somebody put a bell on it or something.
yeah, no, I mean, we should like have like some kind of sticker notes that Nyhm should put on trees or something, like "Be right back" or something like that.
Nyhm, you ever heard of communication?
Yes. In fact, I just found out where we need to go. We need to follow the river.
Who told you that?
The hunter's over there. I got my knife back.
We
Good enough
trust.
for me. Let's go.
What about the wolves?
What
Yeah,
about
they can
them?
eat.
What do you? I mean, we will let them eat the rock, right?
Yeah, but
Hello?
were there hunters over there?
They are hunters.
If they
It's their
needed our
job. I
help,
mean, if you want to warn them, I'm coming with you.
to
But
be fair, the howl would have warned them in the first place. And 2, if they were any good hunters, the wolves shouldn't be a problem.
and 3, it's a gargantuan creature here. I mean, the wolves can eat, the hunters can look at stuff. I don't know.
Meat for days.
Yeah, it's not like a deer or something. There's not a lot of competition. Everyone can enjoy. We did a service to the ecosystem or something. I don't know.
Wait, I know how to solve this. Goes to pick up Hemlock and start walking on the river.
Hey, no, that's not deciding. That's just grabbing Hemlock.
Get here, you walking away.
Blink if you need help, Hemlock.
Can we just go like check real quick? Just real quick.
Okay, let's go.
Like,
It's
put me down. Put me down. I will go check. Tim-Tam
Every
can
time
stay
you
in
go
the woods.
check, you get eaten or abducted.
No,
We're going with
it's-
you.
If Nyhm talked to them and there was no trouble, it's safe for us. I mean, Hemlock, it's super friendly. Nyhm usually goes like with the stabbing road first, and if there was no problem, I think it's safe for Hemlock.
I don't like that generalization, but you're not technically wrong.
Oh, I am right. I'm super smart.
Especially if someone's sleeping in their bed.
Hey, that was one Baron, okay? One.
Okay, so let's talk to them. Let's warn them around the wolves. They will be like, yeah, duh, and we will go back.
Like, about how far away were they, Nyhm?
A few hundred
They
feet.
were over by the rock.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
A few hundred feet in the
Okay,
woods.
so... Hey! There's a wolf coming your way!
There's no response.
And you scared the wolves.
There's no response.
Nope.
As in, the hunters are the smart ones and either decided not to give away their position or don't care. So Nym's already walking up the alongside the river.
So how do we feel? And I say that to Hemlock. How do we feel about Saxton having yelled at? Are we content?
Guess I have to be.
No, you
Let's
don't.
go
You
to the
don't
river.
have to be Hemlock. We are still close. We can go real quick if you need to.
I'd be their brat. I just feel really bad if we, if we noticed that there were going to be wolves and they would have attacked the hunters and we didn't say anything. Like, wouldn't you feel bad? Like, I'd feel bad.
To be
Anyway.
fair,
Nope.
wolves have attacked us. We were not prepared, and we whooped the wolves' ass. These guys are hunters. They hunt wolves because all the hunters we've met before had wolf pelts on them. It's safe to assume they usually deal with wolves.
Okay, fine.
If I go over there, I'm coming back with a rock pelt.
It's not... Okay.
I'm exhausted.
I
And we're off!
okay, yeah.
So you don't go over there?
Hemlock.
I'm looking at Hemlock. I will do whatever Hemlock does. I trust her the most.
Okay, just real quick. I go over there. Real quick.
Nyhm is in the nearest tree and is going to sit down and wait.
I'll follow Hemlock.
Go punch something. The rock was a good warm-up for my fists.
You punch a tree. There's a thud.
Technically, you stabbed the rock.
And punched him.
Yeah.
The noise of them fades as you move ahead, Hemlock, into the woods in that direction. And you eventually get to where there's a clearing, and the clearing is due to the rock knocking down all the trees and stuff. And there is no sign of anyone being here. Blood is starting to pool up in this area. The ground squishes as you notice that the soil itself is soaked in the rock's blood. And you notice on the ground next to you an urn. Like a clay urn.
Pick it up. What's it say?
You pick it up, and it's covered in a bit of blood, and you like try to wipe the blood off to read it. And I don't think we really got into Hemlock's background, right?
No. I mean, I wrote a background.
Are their parents still alive?
Her dad is.
What's your mother's name?
Sandra.
Okay. The urn says Sandra on it. Scratched in birdfolk. The lid itself is fairly sealed shut, waterproof.
I don't like this.
So
This
I
is a
am.
cruel joke.
I'm with her. Do I see the same name?
You're not close enough to look unless you get like right
Okay.
next to her. And it is at that point you guys hear a howl in the woods nearby. It has to be just outside the tree line. Then you hear another howl further away.
We should probably
And some of the trees
go, Hemlock.
on
We
the
don't
opposite
wanna.
side of this clearing move a bit.
We don't want to be here when the different wolf families fight for this.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you okay?
Yeah. This is not funny.
Do you
I-
need
I-
something? Or
No, we should get out of here. It was a mistake coming over here.
What do you do with the urn?
I bring it with me.
Okay.
I'm not
Tim-Tam,
leaving my
that's when
mom.
you can see the urn and the name on it.
the same name, right?
Yeah, it's the same name.
Well, given the Hemlock's worried expression, I assume I won't ask anything right now.
You're not sure if it's just you guys, but it seems like the fog and the mist around here is even heavier, and the vision seems even less now.
We need to go.
I mean, like, as you're traveling, it seems that way.
Okay.
They head back out.
Scotty, I'll send you what I have for the backstory. I don't
Yeah,
think
I might
sent
have
it
just
to you.
hit something. Oof, so I apologize.
No, it's okay.
So you all travel the river, and you travel up the river for about an hour. When you reach this bridge that goes across the river, you pull up the description. Okay, the shelf of rock on which the mountain road clings to grows narrow. To your right, you can see icy cliffs that rise sharply towards dark rolling clouds. To your left, the ground falls away into a sea of fog. Ahead, through the wind and snow, you can see a high wall of black stone lined with spikes, topped with statues of demonic vulture-like creatures with horned heads. Set into the center of the wall is a closed iron portcullis, behind which burns a curtain of green flame.
Green flame.
On the other side of the dark wall, rippling the mountain's edge, where you guys are at, is a guard tower with a white stone topped by golden statues of mighty warriors. That's when you notice that this road seems to lead into the mountain itself, the opposite direction where you guys are going.
Well, I guess do we keep going towards the swamp area?
Well, that's where the river was headed. That's where we're technically heading.
You have not seen any bridges that go across the river until this point. And you know that you'll need to cross the river eventually.
Nyhm, you want to scout ahead, see if there's any kind of traps on that bridge?
Is the bridge all in one piece, as in traversable?
Yeah, it's a stone bridge.
Oh,
A little bit of the middle section has broken off, but it's intact.
oh.
Just looks
For
like
some
it's
reason, I was
pretty old.
imagining. Yeah, for some reason, I was imagining an incomplete bridge. Yeah, I would like to scout ahead, taking my time to make sure there's no traps and that it's stable.
Okay. As you move up ahead, you can see one of the statues on top of this arch that you come up to on the road going towards this bridge is crumbled. leaving only the hindquarters of a horse intact.
Oh.
Hemlock, you want to speak to it?
I don't think it's.
Yes.
Don't worry. I don't think it's the moment for jokes.
After this archway is the bridge. So do you cross the bridge?
Nyhm, do we cross the bridge?
You said it was clear.
You can give me a perception check if you want. It's clear.
Well,
Sort
I
of
mean,
looking
of
at it.
traps and everything else.
Yeah, give
that's,
me-
that's exactly what I was saying.
Give me perception or investigation, whichever you would like.
Looks like my perception is the higher one.
The bridge itself is 10 feet wide, and it's about 80 feet across the river.
Okay, so that is an 11 on perception.
Okay. You do not spot any kind of traps of any kind on this bridge.
Nyhm just nods and motions you to come across.
Say it's 80 feet across.
Yeah, 10 feet wide.
Alright,
As
So
as you start to go across, a black cloaked rider on a charcoal colored horse guards the middle of the bridge.
there it is.
It doesn't look like Strahd's horse, does it?
It looks exactly like Strahd's horse.
Better
Other-
without
question,
flames.
does it look like Strahd?
Oh,
It
So-
might be. It's almost like it's a silhouette, like it's a shadow of some kind.
Oh shit, it's a shade.
Why is
500
that
feet
worse?
below is the river. Give you ideas how high up this is.
5.
Okay, it's the size of a horse, so we're good to go here. I start to try to talk to the horse.
I have to change that rule.
What do you say to the horse?
Say in horse language, so the rider can't hear me. Is your first of all, are you a good boy or girl? Is your rider a good boy or girl? I just had a very traumatic thing happen to me. Can you give me a break? Does the horse respond?
Neither response from either of these things. They almost seem like they're one being.
This is like a. Can I roll like an Arcana check or something?
Sure.
Arcana 18.
I mean, you're pretty sure this isn't a being. It doesn't seem to be responding anyway. Maybe it's some kind of an illusion spell.
Don't have a
But it also,
dispel.
but it also equally could be something that could directly affect you guys with that Arcana check. Because there are illusion spells that can interact with you and such. Or it could be a shadow of some kind, like an undead creature. But the fact that it hasn't attacked you is quite odd.
Someone want
We
to poke
should-
it with a stick?
Maybe we should try common. Bird folk.
It is at that point that both the rider and the horse disperse like ash in the wind as a breeze goes through the valley.
Oh, well, worked out for everybody. Shall we?
Can't help but feel like it was a warning of some kind, Hemlock. Because your Arcana check.
I say we
And-
best be careful.
And you see you got 18 on the Arcana?
Yeah.
A certain phrase comes to mind. Strahd said he was the land. Maybe he's affecting this area? Maybe he's affecting everything. And this is just like a manifestation of him or something. Anyway,
Strahd's everywhere.
yeah, pretty
I
much.
say.
That's pretty much what you get out of it.
Well, if he doesn't want us to go that way, then we shouldn't go exactly that way.
How can we fight against this? I mean, ugh. Well, I believe in us.
As you cross the bridge, with no other problems at all getting across it, you get to the archway on the other side of the river, and the snowy pass lies on ahead of it. At the end of the bridge is a 30-foot tall, 30-foot wide stone arch. Atop of each are two statues of armed knights, both Batras, on horseback with horseback with lances. They seem to be charging towards each other. The wind bites and howls like wolves as it passes through here. And you proceed down the path. And then you can see up ahead. You guys don't need to go this way because you've crossed the river now. There seems to be what appears to be a gatehouse of some kind with a portcullis. And not only is there a portcullis there, but it's that wolf green flame I mentioned before. And on this side of it, so you guys don't need to pass through it, excuse me, appears to be a guardhouse of some kind. This is about 200 feet that way, down the road. But very visible from here.
So we're standing in front of the green wall of flame, but the guardhouse is down the way.
No. Both of those are down the way.
Oh, okay.
But there's like a wall or something.
Yeah, it's like this guardhouse is like in the road itself is in a tight little ravine of the mountain.
Oh, okay.
Like it'd be difficult to climb
Okay.
around it,
Okay.
but you could. You don't need
But
to
some choke
either because
points.
you guys are just going to be following the river anyway. You were just getting on the other side.
Okay.
Do you investigate that stuff, or are you just going to keep heading the way you guys were going to go?
I'm going to say keep heading that way. If we have to go near the flame wall, then I would think to check the guardhouse.
Ditto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let me send you guys the map.
During our travels,
Mhm.
can I like talk to Hemlock privately?
I don't know if you guys can view that link I just put in the Zoom chat, but you guys essentially came from the top part of the map, which is the east, and you headed west across the river.
Okay.
And the side
That
view
makes a whole lot more sense.
and the
then.
side view really shows you how steep it is down towards the river.
Tim
Yeah, so we're gonna avoid that choke point.
Tim-Tam wanted to talk to Hemlock.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get like enough distance or anything for the others not to, I mean, it's not like to realize. If I can make sure, I mean,
You just wanted to
not
with
like
everybody?
super sure. I want to talk to Hemlock.
Oh.
In private.
That's all up to you guys.
So maybe leave a little distance, not losing sight with the rest of the group or anything.
Nyhm and I can go
whisper.
ahead.
Yeah. And whisper to her, Hemlock, you're my best friend. And I saw you got something from the rock, and you don't have to tell me about it right now. I just want you to know that you don't have to carry everything on your shoulders. And I am here if you need it. So anytime you need it, you can just tell me, ask for help. I won't ask any questions. I will just help you, okay?
I am probably holding the urn close to me, and I like pull it away from me, and I let Tim-Tam see it, and say, my mama, she died when I was real young,
I'm sorry
and
to hear that.
and I had to take care of my dad for a really long time. I kind of took her place, and there's a lot of stuff there that I could tell you about later, but it's not the place right now. But this is a cruel joke.
You understand that this is probably this place trying to get into your mind, right?
The thing is, we don't know if where she died.
No.
She just went missing, and we kind of just assumed that she died. And if this place, the land or whatever, is trying to tell me that she died here, and I've been following her footsteps this whole time, maybe it's a sign that I'm not meant to make it out of here.
So every thought you have, every time you think about this, remember that Strahd and this whole place is trying to get into your mind. It's trying to make you doubt yourself. And I'm sorry, and I don't know what happened to your mother, but you are not her. And you are not bound to make the same mistakes or failures or anything. You have to make your own path, and you have to have a clear mind for that. And I understand this time it's not to shake off any doubt or anything, but when the fight comes, I mean, you have to fight for Hemlock.
Hemlock gives you a really big hug, and there are tears coming down her face, and she wipes them away, and she says, I don't really know what to do with this.
Keep it. We don't know, just keep it for now. And we will see. Just remember, this place will try to get into your mind and make you doubt yourself and make yourself your own enemy. And if you pull through that, you may get answers. We don't know. I will be by your side. I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Okay, and we will get with the others.
You hear a wolf howl way behind you guys in the distance, and then one even fainter even further away as you catch up with everybody else. And you all continue to travel, traveling upstream to the north. And you notice that the ground starts to get more and more soft, and then eventually it becomes difficult terrain as it's kind of squishy, it's almost spongy. It's not enough to where it's like your feet are sinking into water, per se, but it's definitely not. Ground is kind of lumpy and weird to maneuver on,
We're walking in peat.
pretty much.
Okay.
And you notice on the other side of the river, before it gets too far away on the mountain, you see what appears to be a goat, a very big goat. It just stares at you all menacingly with its giant ram horns.
How
And it's a
big?
few hundred feet up, but it's like a giant goat. So it's like a horse-sized goat.
God dang it! It's a horse-sized goat.
And it's got this constant scowl look on it as it's got this black beard on it. You guys don't hear that, of course, but you just barely can see that in the distance.
Really cool for some goat coat.
Say, hello! It's the size of a horse.
I know. I have to change that rule. I really have to.
You did this to yourself, mate.
Yeah.
It turned. Give me a perception check because it's really far away. You can just barely make it out in the distance. You're like, it has to be the size of a horse for me to see it.
Wow. That's a 1.
Snow and
So,
wind blows in between you guys and where it's at on the mountain. And when the wind ceases, it's gone. You don't see it anymore.
Ghost goat.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Or goat.
Or goat, yeah.
With the GH.
Oh.
Anyway. You continue traveling north. And for probably another hour. And at this point, the mists themselves, like the low-setting fog around here, is getting pretty thick, and it's getting hard to see. You can't see more than 60 feet in front of you guys.
What about with the sword casting light?
Light does not seem to help. In fact, it seems to worsen it, as the light reflects off of the water molecules in the air.
Oh, it's like using your high beams. All right, I'll just sheath the sword then.
Okay. As you are traveling, and you're pretty sure with your survival skills, Nyhm, that you guys got to be fairly close. You got to be like within 3/4 of a mile, half a mile from where you saw the ruins of this village. What comes into view is what appears to be a very weird, stiff, gaunty-looking birdfolk scarecrow. So it's got on like the clothes and stuff, and it's got like hay and whatnot sticking out of it. And it lurches into view out of the fog. Its sackcloth eyes and rictus are ripe with malevolence, and its gut, you can see, is stuffed with dead ravens, and has long, rusted knives, claws, as it starts moving towards you guys.
I was about to say, yeah, it's moving.
I don't think we're in a good place.
Initiative!
We haven't been in a good place since we got into this damn village.
Well, you know what? I like to look on the bright side of things, and I don't like this place. Ah!
Always look on the bright side of life.
How far away is it?
60, because that's when it became visible.
I was going to ask when you said sauntered into view if it means like it was moving or we came upon it, but that
Actually both. It was just moving, and then when it visibly saw you at the same time you guys saw it, it starts coming towards you.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, sorry, 24 for initiative.
Oh, holy crud. Okay. 24 for Nyhm. What did Tim-Tam get?
What are we rolling? Sorry.
Initiative.
Initiative.
22, not 20.
Ooh, wow.
Why
Saxton.
do I keep rolling not 20 on the dumbest
21.
shit?
What was saying? What was Saxton's again?
21.
Holy crud, guys.
Wow.
And Hemlock?
You're not gonna believe this. It's a 7.
Whoa.
I believe it.
So, Nyhm, you are first.
Okay, my first question, as a Jerbeen, do I get the sneak attack damage if there's an ally within 5 feet of me? Or does it have to be of the target only?
Um,
I'm trying to double check
Our
that, but there's,
Get, I think.
there's something with the Jerbeen that includes the party.
Oh, the Jerbeen. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know pack tactics are like with the party, but I don't know.
Well, I have team tactics, but that's not the same thing. I can use help
Yeah.
as an action or a bonus action. And then there's take heart, which is strength advantage on strength saving throws and against being frightened as long as I'm within 5 feet of an ally. So I don't think that counts for sneak attacks.
no. That's the
Okay.
thing you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So if that's the case, then you said 60 feet?
Yep.
Yep, I'm going to do my fireball jutsu, cast flaming sphere 30 feet in front of me, and then roll it straight into the scarecrow.
It's a dex save, right?
That is correct.
You will not believe this, a nat 20, so 21.
Well, it only takes half, I believe. Let me confirm that real quick.
What spell level is that?
It's a second level spell.
I'm sure it takes half.
It's usually
Yeah, half as much.
Yeah, I was about to say saving throws are usually save or half.
Yeah, I think catapult is the only one that it doesn't
Catap-
take anything if it does.
Catapult, sickening radiance. There's a few of them that do that.
But second radiant is also level 1, right?
No, it's like 4th level.
Oh,
But
wow.
it's like they take radiant damage and exhaustion level. But if they make the check, it's like half the radiant damage and no exhaustion level, I think. Whatever. Anyway, so what did you do for
So
fire?
it's going to be half of 8 fire damage, so 4.
Okay. You notice it
And then
actually seems pretty effective against it. Even though it took half, it seemed to take all of it anyway.
Yay.
That's the straw and it ignites.
Any creature that ends its turn within the 5 feet sphere. Never mind. And for my movement, we're still on a... Are we on a bridge, or are we just on flat terrain?
No, you're just on relatively flat terrain.
Okay.
You said you moved 30 feet up and then did it, right?
No. I cast the
Oh,
sphere
you
30
cast it
feet
30
in front
feet
of me
forward.
and rolled it the rest of the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm going to break off to the right of the party about half my movement, so 15 feet to the right.
Okay. Tim-Tam.
Do I see that fire seems
Yeah, it's very clearly, it's made of straw. Fire hit it.
good because all of my spells are fire damage. I will cast Scorching Ray. 3 Scorching Rays on that thing.
Okay.
I mean, Scorching Ray, it's 3 rays. Yeah. First one is 12.
12 hits.
4 fire damage.
Okay. Catches on fire even
So-
further. You're not sure if you're hearing screaming coming from inside it or just horrible hissing sound of moisture escaping as the fire burns it. It's still up.
Second one is a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That's 7 fire damage.
Okay. It is falling apart, but it is still up.
And third one is 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
8 fire damage.
Right.
And that's
And it burns to a pile of rubble as it collapses on itself. Still on fire. Look at that. End of initiative.
Burn twigs. It helped Let's all this way.
Black smoke seems to come from it, and you notice that the dead ravens that were in its gut. That's what the hissing sound is. You think?
Oh,
Oh,
we could eat those.
I'm not going to eat those.
There's a pop noise, and a little bit of the fire pops out, and it looks like it was a feather, but it quickly dissipates into nothing in the air.
oh.
It smells horrible.
We should bury them.
I think we just cremated it.
If they're not cremated, we should bury them.
Keep firing
They-
at it.
What?
Cremate
They tried.
it.
they
Keep firing
tried
at
to-
it.
I mean, I've already cast Flaming Sphere. I'd keep it there for the duration of the spell.
Yeah, actually, the
so-
flaming sphere is right there.
All right. Whatever's left of it quickly turns to ash, except for the claw knives. But they're definitely black and singed pretty bad. And the corpses of the ravens are probably a disgusting burning charcoal mess.
Do I think I could repair or have somebody fix up those knives and be effective?
No.
It's just what I was gonna say. Can I mend them to make throwing knives out of those claws?
No.
I'm an artificer.
No,
No,
not,
but I
not
like
the
where your
damage.
mind's
Not
at.
from the amount of fire damage they've taken. No way.
Okay.
Well, shit, if I'd have known that.
If I do hit metal and use the smithing tools, could I make throwing daggers? I mean, not right now. I mean,
Yes.
within a long rest or something.
Yes. These things were think of scissors, but they took the scissors apart, and they're very old and
Okay.
rusty, and then they were just used as fingers.
I'll
So-
grab the claws to name some throwing daggers with it when we get a long rest.
And then
Yay.
imagine 5 pairs of rusty old scissors that were thrown in a bonfire, and now you're pulling them out of the bonfire. Obviously, after they cool down.
Yeah.
And you got smithing tools. You just take your tongs, pull them out.
I'm going to end up looking like Altair from the original Assassin's Creed. Just knife, 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 knife.
Yeah. Well,
Those are special because they're made with love.
okay, so I just updated everyone's past perceptions. So Nyhm, you had the best past perception out of everybody in the crew right now, 15. You notice what you think what looked like a malevolently smiling face appear in the black smoke right after you guys destroyed this scarecrow.
I don't like that.
I don't think you saw that.
Nope.
I don't like that anyway.
At this point, it's kind of on par, so Nyhm wouldn't exactly mention anything of it.
We can assume it.
But besides that, nothing else really from this thing. Or from where you guys are currently at. You
I guess
continue
try
forward?
to continue finding that city.
How long have we been traveling for?
A few hours now. It's actually starting to kind of get dark. But there's no trees around, and all that's around is the marsh and mist.
Maybe we can find a structure in the marsh to set up in.
So you continue traveling. The spongy earth is pot-marked with strands of tall reeds and pools of stagnant water. A thick shroud of fog covers everything. Scattered throughout this marsh are old peasant cottages that appear in front of you. Their walls are covered with black mildew. Their roofs mostly caved in. These decrepit dwellings seem to hunker down in the mire, as though they have long since given up on escaping the thick mud. Everywhere you look, black clouds of flies dart about, hungry for blood. The fog is much thinner on the far side of the river, across the river, where you can see a light flashing amid a dark ring of standing stones, like a lantern.
I think we found it.
Well, let's head towards the light.
I agree.
The light is on the other side of the river. You guys are pretty sure you found the village. This light source is not.
How bad's the river? Are we able to traverse it easily, or?
You get up towards the bank, and the river itself is about. Wow, it's a very wide. This part. So
How wide is it?
a few hundred feet.
How many hundreds
Usually
of
like
feet of
400
rope do we
feet.
still have?
No,
I was going to yeet you across.
no.
What's the most sturdy looking structure in the marsh?
Preferably without the flies or mosquitoes.
Well, the closest one to you, what appears to be like the biggest building, and I guess that one kind of looks like it's the sturdiest. It looks like it used to be a mansion at one point,
Oh no.
but it has long been decrepit to pretty much nothing. There's no like upper floors or anything. It's just like parts of the ground floor are left.
Stone walls or anything?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's covered in the black mildew and all that.
So it's abandoned, so technically we could claim it as our own.
What is
It
with
is
you
on
and
higher.
claiming property in
It
these
is on
games?
higher ground, but it's been
Well,
reduced to a pile of stone and rotting timber.
Well, remember, if Strahd comes around, he can't come in unless he's invited.
You see a
If we own the place,
sorry to interrupt. You see an untamed garden that runs rampant, surrounded by broken walls that are no longer able to contain it. You think you can see a fence on the far side of this mansion too. It's kind of hard to see in the fog. You hear, I think you hear our goats in that direction too. You're like
I'm going to head towards the mansion, or the remains of the mansion.
okay. As you
I'm
guys,
going to keep my eyes on a swivel.
all right, as you guys head that way and you start getting to higher ground, so it's not as difficult to travel, aka you're not difficult to train anymore. A ghost takes shape in the fog, assuming the form of a very large-looking Bachelor man. His features mutilated and his entrails hanging out like flayed ropes. Despite this intimidating presence, the apparition has cringing light in its eyes. Why do you invade my home? Begone, I beseech you. He tries to shoo you away, but he doesn't move forward.
Hi. We're looking for someone. We don't mean to come into your home unannounced, uninvited, and unpleasantly, and a lot of other uns. And we will be out as soon as we possibly can. But you are so gracious for
Marina.
having us.
Marina is dead. She is not here.
Where is she?
I will not tell you.
Oh, please.
As the master of what's left of this marsh, I will not speak of it. You have no business with my daughter.
Somebody want to explain the fortune to him?
You notice that the
I don't even-
Batra, you think maybe it's because he's a ghost, maybe not, but his fur is white, just like Irina's.
So,
Oh.
what are the chances that you hate Strahd and want him dead too?
Dead is a difficult way of putting it, but I do not like the Dark Lord.
We've had a fortune that I believe mentions your daughter. a rose plucked too soon that may be of help to us taking care of him. Assuming she died well ahead of her time.
But doesn't everybody?
I still have throwing knives
The
left.
ghost seems to sit on nothing. Looks down in sorrow. Yes, she was plucked too soon from us. What
If we
business
can
do
visit
you
her,
have with her?
I believe she can help us take down Strahd. If we can get her help, we won't trespass and we'll be out of your hair as quick as possible.
I doubt she would be of much use to you in her current state.
Well,
I would rather have her be at peace.
I don't think anyone's at peace as long as Strahd's alive.
He seduced her, you know,
he does that.
He
In-
does that.
in the dead of night. Feasted on her blood. But before she turned, I, Laszlo Urich, and Brother Grigar killed her to save her soul from damnation. And as punishment, the Dark Lord slew Brother Grigar and Ulrich and me, and he used his power over the land to flood the river, destroying this village, leaving it as it is now.
Well, if we can get your daughter's help in taking Strahd down, I believe that would return everything to the way it was and give you all peace.
If you must see her, she is over there. And he points off into the west.
I take a bow and start heading that direction.
Travel west. 200 paces from my mansion lies a monument to my folly and whatever it is that you seek from her.
I start counting the steps.
Nyhm disappears into the fog.
So,
What do the rest of you do?
quick
What a-
question. You said he feasted on her blood, and before she turned, just because Strahd feasts on your blood doesn't mean you have to turn into anything, right?
No.
Okay.
He fed on
How
her
did you
multiple nights until she was too weak to carry on.
Bastard.
And how did you end up ending her suffering?
I'd rather not say. The ghost begins to cry. Outrich not to think of
Really?
it. And as he turns away, he disappears. Nyhm, you start moving 200 paces to the west. And as you do, it is eerily quiet, minus the talking you heard over near the mansion. Hidden in the fog and elevated a few feet above the surrounding marsh is a raised plot of land, barely 10 feet on the side, enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. At the center of the plot is a life-size stone monument, carved in a likeness of a kneeling peasant girl clutching a rose, Patrick girl. Although her features are gray and weather-worn, she bears a striking resemblance to Irina. Carved into the monument's base is an epitaph.
What's it say?
You easily get around the fence, what's left of the fence, and the epitaph you see written in birdfolk is Irina, comma, taken by the mists.
Not quite what I thought it was going to be. I will strike a torch and wait for the rest of them.
It's toward the light.
All right. With little trouble, you guys eventually find Nyhm, but not due to the light source. It actually just seems like almost like a wall of really fuzzy sunlight in that direction. As the torchlight itself, it's fairly hard to discern where it is in the fog. But you do head 200 paces west, as he
Marco!
instructed, and you eventually get to where Nym's at. And you see this life-size stone monument for you.
Found her. Now what?
Eyeing the statue, does anything special look about the rose on her?
Wait, but
No, but she looks exactly like Irina.
didn't Irina died like 2 days ago?
This looks you're not a stonemason, Tim-Tam, but this statue is definitely at least 100 years old now.
That's what I thought.
So is this a tomb, mausoleum, or a grave?
Doesn't seem like it's any of those. You just see a stone statue. You
Does
hear
the rose
croaking-
look like?
Sorry, I was just gonna say you hear croaking frogs and crickets and whatnot of the marsh.
You're fine. Yeah, I was expecting crickets with as silent as the rest of us were. Does the rose look like it could be removed?
No, it's definitely all one piece of stone.
Well, there goes my idea.
So examine the statue to see if there's like any kind of hidden contraptions or anything, or is it just solid stone?
After a little bit of examination, no check needed. It looks like there might be a hidden cavity underneath of it. If you could tip over
Please
the
tell me
And
statue,
you're not talking about-
shove.
if you tip over the statue, you could probably get to it. So you go to shove it, strength check.
Please tell me you're not talking about the actual grave.
There isn't a grave, just a stone statue.
I thought it was a mound. Never mind.
Well, it's like up
15.
a hill. Hey, that just makes it. As you touch the statue, everyone else notices that the croaking frog and the chirping crickets fall silent, and a stench of decay grows strong. And as Saxton lifts up the stone statue and tips it over, revealing a hidden little compartment down below, you hear the tread of heavy footsteps through the mud and water as a bloated gray shape shamble out of the fog.
It's time to go. It's time to get into the crypt. Put the thing over top of us. Let's do it. Let's
Yep.
go.
Inside the
And
cavity, all you find in there is a small sealed box.
Hey, nimble fingers, open it up.
Yep, I immediately go for the box.
No lock on it. You open it, and inside you find a leather-bound journal.
That's the only thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
I will grab it and
As we're
go ahead.
these
Initiative.
things are shambling towards you with the initiative being rolled.
18.
18 for Saxton,
11.
11 for Tim-Tam. How about Nyhm?
10.
Oof. And Hemlock?
Yeah.
17.
Whoa.
Please don't try to talk to them.
So,
The size of a horse.
despite
Smaller than the size of a horse.
despite all things, somehow these guys go first. So 7 of these corpses, walking corpses, start moving towards you guys. And they're very slow. So that's all they get to do on their turn, is they start advancing towards you guys. They seem to be oddly shaped, like there's random bumps underneath their skin and stuff. Pretty gross. Saxton, it's your turn.
How far is the closest one?
40 feet.
Well, I'll move up and punch the closest one then.
Okay.
All right. First, I'll slash him with a sword. 18.
18 hits.
10 damage.
All right. As you slash the body, it falls apart in half. And as it falls apart in half, in the cut wound part of it, swarms of snakes come out of both ends. And they just go into your square. And they're just everywhere on you.
Ooh.
And what's left of the body appears to be just skin.
Okay, I will attack this swarm. 26.
26 hits.
They take 9 damage with the sword.
All right.
And then I will use Fury of Blows. 17.
17 hits.
Eight damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to need a strength check.
I'm just going to say they fail. Yeah, actually, no. I'll give them a chance. 0. They rolled that one.
And they are all prone.
Oh. Doesn't matter. They're immune to that.
Oh. Okay.
I was gonna say I just got that.
You knock a
And
few
I
of
will
the
kick-
snakes prone, but you can't get the entire swarm. Is how I'll
Okay.
say that is. That's why they're immune.
And I'll kick again.
Okay.
18.
18 hits.
And they take 10 additional damage, and I'm unable to make reaction against me as I move back 10 feet.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. After you, it is Hemlock's turn.
Okay.
7.
so-
Well, there's 6 of these things and a bunch of snakes. Where Saxton attacked.
So because I'm not a cleric, I can't use any like turn undead spells or anything off of my.
That's a cleric class ability.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, dang it. Are they all within like 5 feet of me?
No, they're kind of like in a circle surrounding this little hill that you guys are on.
Can I get to them so that they're all in 5 feet of me?
They were 40 feet away. So if you did a move, you'd be about 10 feet away from one of them.
Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna
Actually,
walk.
I will say you can to the snakes. Because the snakes kind of fell into the square Saxton was in.
That's okay. I'm going to get the undead people. I'm going to walk up, or run up my 30 feet and cast Eldritch Blast. At one of them, or two of them, because I have 2 bolts.
Okay.
So. Do we use the Xanathars in this one?
Yeah, you got a nat 20?
No, I got a 1.
Ah. Okay, roll D100.
58.
58. You shoot it and you somehow slip on the slippery mud below, and the recoil of the blast makes you slip, trip 5 feet backwards, and fall prone.
You can still shoot the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
It would be at
okay, I
disadvantage
will.
because you're prone.
But, yeah.
Alright, I'll shoot the second one. Dang it. 14.
14 hits.
Okay. Where'd it go? Oh. 5 damage. And I rolled a 1.
Nice. You hit it.
Not the best turn.
As you fall prone, you fire another shot desperately, and as you do, it hits them square in the chest, and their skin seems to explode, and a pile of snakes just land on the ground.
Mm.
This is way too
I've
relatable
got
where
one-
we're at in Bloodborne, isn't it?
Yes, it is. No. I have. We've discussed before. I have speak with animals on all the time, and
Mhm.
so I would like to try to talk to the snakes. Would that be using an action, or is that just talking?
Talking is just talking.
I say, what's up, snakes? Don't hurt
We're
us.
snakes. We're the snakes.
We are the snakes.
Hi, food.
We're not food.
Food.
No.
Hungry.
No, you're not that hungry,
Yes.
no. I think I'll tell you what. If you
One
don't mind not
food.
eating us, okay. Hang on a second. I got
We are snakes. We don't have concept of time. There's another one.
Close your eyes and trust in me. You can't sleep.
I think that's.
Safe and sound.
I think that will be Hemlock's turn. I think that's it. Okay. Up next is Tim-Tam. There are 5 of these humanoid zombie-like things and 2 piles of snakes.
Okay. So, if I within a 15 feet cone, how many
I'll say you can.
zombies or snakes?
I'll say you can hit 2. You position your turret. I assume this is the turret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's worth then. I will spend a first level slot to summon my flamethrower turret and hit 2 of the either zombies or swarms, whatever I have closer.
I'll say the two zombies. You said
Okay.
dex. These are dex saves, right?
It's a dex save, yeah.
Wow. Why? 18
18 passes.
and another 18.
Passes 2, so they get half of 14 fire damage.
Okay, it's still enough that it melts away all the skin, and the snake piles just.
And that's it.
Hemlock, you hear hot,
Yeah.
hot.
Oh.
Oh, cold
Look.
again. Old marsh. Cold.
I can hear Hemlock doing sounds, right?
Yeah.
Don't speak with them.
Trying to get them to still go away.
They are
Try
pretending
killing
to
them.
be humans. I mean, not human. Sorry. What's a human?
Just folk, because there's humble folk and
Yeah,
folk.
they're
folk.
trying. They're pretending to be folk. They know what they're doing. They're evil.
We are neutral. No, I'm kidding. They don't understand you. Wait, can you actually speak with creatures? I know the Gallus can. They have like seed speech or something.
No, I can't.
Okay,
I have the uprising eye. It's all I get
that's right.
because it's pretty good.
Yeah. Do you do anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Nyhm. About half of these things are now snake piles.
How many are still on Saxton?
1-ish. Not really. Saxton moved away.
Oh.
He gave him a dab action so they couldn't attack him as he ran.
Saxton out.
Okay, so then I do need to ask, who's within 5 feet of a group of the snakes? I'm assuming Tim-Tam or Hemlock?
Tim-Tam, maybe.
Tim-Tam's turret, I'll say, is. And I would consider that an ally.
Okay, so then I would like to chuck my nope knife at the swarm on top of Tim-Tam.
Okay.
And we get, ooh, does a 26 hit?
Yes.
Let's see, 1, 2. Give me just a moment. $16 piercing damage, please.
Okay. Stabs through like 3 of the snakes. Kind of skewers them a bit.
Wonderful. There's only a fence surrounding the area, correct?
It's very poor excuse for a fence. It's like there was a fence here, and it's not really here anymore.
So nothing taller, like no trees or anything close by?
It's about as tall as you.
Hmm.
At the parts of the fence that are still up.
I will move to the far side of the statue and use my bonus action to hide.
We smell you. You just hear hissing.
No need for stealth.
No, go ahead. Stealth roll.
Well, when you say it like that.
Yeah, you do a predator. You know, you want to hide in there and like hide your body temperature.
I mean, I'm hiding behind a huge chunk of stone. 22.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. After you, we loop back around, and it is their turns. So, I think those snakes that are on Tim-Tam will attack Tim-Tam. So they start biting Tim-Tam. And of course they get a nat 20.
It hits.
Let me roll damage first. Okay. It's only 7 piercing damage. Actually, we know it's crit. 12 piercing damage. Then the crit chart. 77 means that does 3 times the amount of damage. So, let's add some more. Another 5 on top of what I just said.
Okay.
And I would say a con save, but no need because I'm pretty sure your construct is immune to poison.
Yeah.
And
Did
then
it turn into Indiana Jones all of a sudden?
kind of, yeah.
Wait, Tim-Tam doesn't look great.
Start the play, shock.
And the other swarm comes after Tim-Tam as well.
Oh, okay.
Because it hit both of them. And so they're like,
Yeah.
attack the hut! Attack the hut! Nat 1.
Yeah, that would pass the 18 AC.
I don't know. You may want to give them a chance.
They got a 4 in their Nat 1, but they're not carrying a weapon or spellcasting focus, so nothing happens. They just miss. They miss. That one group of snakes that you moved away from Saxton swim/slither up to you, and they attack you. I'm pretty sure they don't get through your AC though, with a 10 to hit.
No.
Okay. Okay, so that was 3 of the 7. Two of the deformed bodies move closer. Hemlock didn't really move from her spot, so 2 of them are heading towards you, Hemlock.
Okay.
And then another one is heading towards Nym's direction, and it's going to do a piss poor perception check to try to find them.
You mean a piss poor?
Yes.
Don't you start.
Don't I start? I know it sucks, but
Ah!
Okay, so I did 3 swarms. I missed a swarm, so I'm gonna say another. So one of the zombies and a swarm is looking for Nyhm. I just realized even if they roll nat 20, which they just did, they can't find you, Nyhm, because your stealth check. So they literally crawl on top of you, Nyhm. And they're in your square, but they don't know you're there.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I had to reread the rules, and apparently attack of opportunity isn't when they're moving through threatening squares in 5th edition, it's when they move out of the range of your melee attack. So it's actually...
Of their own free will.
Yes, which is ironic, because if... I think there's one creature that has like a melee reach attack of 60 feet, so it doesn't get an attack of opportunity until somebody's 60 feet away, and they're moving to 65 feet away. That sucks, but whatever. One of those weird 5e things. Saxton, it is your turn.
Well, since they're already here, I'll start slashing at the pile at my feet.
Okay.
$18.
18 hits.
$10 damage.
All right. These things are really tough to get through, but you're slowly chopping away at them.
All right, slash again.
Your slashing and punching don't seem that effective.
Even if it's considered magical?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's more of because you're attacking a bunch of targets at once, so physical attacks are kind of hard to get rid of the whole,
16 to hit.
16 hits. Swarms are the banes of monks and fighters.
11 damage.
All right. There's a lot less snakes.
To be fair, swarms are the bane of a lot of people.
I'll go ahead and start stomping on these things.
Okay.
17.
17 hits.
They take 8 more damage.
All right.
And I need another strength check.
Is this the prone one?
Wait, what is this? Double check. Give me a dex check.
Okay. Excuse me, Barf. Pardon me, excuse me. Okay. Dex check. 15?
They pass that. So I'll kick again. 9 more damage. They can't make a reaction as I move away.
Okay. There's like maybe a handful of snakes left of that swarm. After you, it is Hemlock's turn.
Hey.
The two, oh yeah, you're prone, right?
Yeah. This.
I said there were 2
sucks.
zombies coming after you, but it's actually 1 zombie and 1 swarm of snakes because you actually hit one.
Okay.
Horse?
Blah.
What? No, no, you. I don't know any horse that goes. Mah.
I was trying to neigh, but it felt really weird.
Well, you're gonna have. Oh, if you're gonna DM, I'm gonna play a character that's a warlock that speaks with animals, so you get used to speaking like an animal.
No, I can't. Okay. So you have to use half my movement to get up, right? Or
Mhm.
something. Okay, so I use half my movement to get up. Where the snake's at?
Hey, right in front of you, fam. 10 feet.
They're right in front of me, fam. Okay, I'm gonna walk another 5 feet. So there are 5 feet.
What's she doing? She offering herself to us? Yes! Free food.
They are 5 feet in front of me.
Mm-hmm. There appears to be like a
okay.
sassy female snake that's in charge of all the other snakes in this pile.
All right. Good for her. I try to get all of the snakes, and I like a snake's got to make a con save.
Okay. Can you describe what you're doing?
I've only got cantrips, so I'm thunderclapping them.
Oh, they got an 18.
I'm not doing anything.
Folk are weird.
I go. Nothing happens.
Oh, it's a loud clap. It's clearly you're
Yeah.
casting a spell, but
Yeah.
they kind of shake it off, I guess.
Should just stick with
Yippee!
Eldritch Blast.
As they're like starting to slither up to you. That's your turn.
Can I talk to them?
Yeah. Well, you moved only 20 feet. You. Oh no! Wait, no. You had to use all your movement because you got up and then moved up.
Yeah. I say, I think that we could have a beneficial, a friendship, where I provide you some meal, and
Food.
you don't eat me.
Food.
Yeah.
Food. Yes, food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Food talk a lot.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's an action.
I'm pretty sure these things are really dumb.
I say, look, more bigger food over there. And I like point to the side.
Accidentally points to Saxton.
No, I don't point to Saxton. I point back in the water.
All right, we'll see what happens when it's their turn.
Okay.
After you, it is Tim-Tam's turn. Attack the heat! Attack the heat!
Okay.
As like the two swarms are just attacking the crap out of Tim-Tam.
The heat will push.
The robot's a basketball team now.
So they need dex saves.
Okay. 3 and 17.
So one passes, one misses.
Mhm.
The damage is 10 fire damage.
Okay, so is that save or half?
Save for half, yeah.
Heat! And then the
Ah.
few that actually do, like the ones that didn't make the check. Hemlock, you just hear as they like roil and wrinkle up and curl up into themselves as they die from the fire. They go, "What a world! What a world!"
Are the two swarms within 10 feet of each other?
Yeah.
I will cast Shatter
Con saves?
at them. Con saves, yeah.
7
Misses.
and 9.
Misses. They get 17 thunder damage.
A bunch more of them just convulse violently and die. 17.
I was like, 17, yeah.
Now there's a lot less.
That's my turn.
And they were both in the same square, so I'm just gonna say they went from a hefty health pool to just a normal amount of snakes, relatively speaking. Okay, I'm making them 1 unit now instead of 2. Alright, after Tim-Tam is Nyhm. Nyhm, those snakes are all over you. They don't know you're there.
So that does unfortunately beg my repeated question. If I attack, would I get advantage? Or sneak attack?
You actually would. So I've been rereading up the combat rules. Because they don't know you're there, you get advantage. If they would try to attack your square, they get disadvantage. But they're not even sure if you're in the square you're in.
And it's just the one swarm?
Yep. Because you have advantage, you get sneak attack damage.
You are right. Yeah, I can't pass up an opportunity like that. I will take my rapier and try to shish kebab as many snakes as I can. Or would that be a shish kebab?
Snakes
Does
kebab.
that count? I'm going to attack now.
It's kebab.
A hiss kebab, yeah, it's a hiss kebab.
Hiss kebab. I like that. So that's 13 on the first one. Thank God this is at advantage.
13 to hit?
That was the first one.
Okay.
The second one is a 25, however.
Okay, yeah, then you definitely hit. You
Okay.
hit the hiss
I'm glad.
kebab.
No, I'm trying to make a hiss kebab. My rapier is D8, I think. Yes, a D8. And we get 23 piercing damage.
Oh, wow. You have like 5 snakes in your hiss kebab.
Well, that's not all of them, unfortunately.
Nope. They definitely know you're here now.
Oh, obviously. This is probably a horrid decision, but I have to try. Is the other side of the fence within my movement?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go behind the fence and try my bonus action to hide again.
Okay, you would provoke.
Oh, that's right, because I'm using my bonus action. Oh, crap. I take that back. I
It
will
might still be worth it.
disengage.
Because even if you use it to disengage, you're still visible to everything.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Give me that attack of opportunity. If you roll a nat 20, I swear to God.
I got really worried, but no, I did not roll a nat 20. However, I'm pretty sure it hits. Yeah, 23 to hit.
I don't have shield. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. You take... Huh. Okay, 6 piercing damage, and I need a con save.
Okay. Would my evasive action? Is it evasive action or what is it?
Uncanny dodge. You can have that damage. Yes, from a
Does that
single
include what I have-
attack. But let's roll your con before you decide to do that.
Okay, that's fair.
So all this technically is the same attack.
Okay. How about a 21?
21 passes. So
Oof.
that was 6 piercing normally. You take 7 poison damage on top of that. If you don't use Uncanny Dodge. If you use Uncanny Dodge, it halves all of that. So it's 6 damage total of poison and piercing if you use Uncanny Dodge.
Then I'm definitely using Uncanny Dodge.
Okay.
So that's 6 points total. That was definitely worth the risk, so thank you for that one, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm assuming a new stealth check.
Yep, because you're doing it as a bonus action.
Yay. I do have to ask though, in this particular scenery, is the fence just the regular type of fence? So it's got these little thin rails in between, or are
Yeah,
there points
it's like-
where there's a large?
They're like thin iron, the stereotypical like border of a graveyard kind of thing,
Okay.
but like really
what I
worn
thought.
down.
I just ask because if I do succeed on my hide, that basically turns me into a cartoon character. How's a 27 to hide?
27. I was saying you like quick burrow because you know you're like a mouse thing, so you just and you like get yourself in a nice little position.
It works for me.
After you, actually, it's their turns. And unfortunately, it's getting really late. So I think we're going to have to pause once again in mid-combat. Are you guys up for like one more turn? I know it's getting pretty
Sure.
late for some people. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lluis is giving
okay.
me the thumbs up.
We will.
It's okay.
We will keep going then. That group that's on the snake swarm that's on Saxton, the very few of them that are left, try biting them. You gotta be shitting. Nat 20.
Thank you for not rolling that on the previous turn.
And there's a lot less snakes here, Saxton. So pretty much they're going to be doing the damage they should have been doing normally. Because when a swarm is at half or lower, it does half the damage. 29 on the crit hit chart is
But a
not
crit
a
is-
triple. Oh, that's good.
Half a crit is still ouch.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Saxton, you're carrying that sword in your hand, right?
I almost
Mhm.
fucked that
You
up.
drop it. As one of them bites your hand. And you're just like, drop it. And I need a con save. Even with a crit, it rolls minimum damage, so you take 2 piercing damage.
18.
Okay, and then the poison, however, is going to be a oof. Maybe? Is it halved as well? I don't think it is. Actually, that is not halved. Boy. Scratch that on the crit.
No, get away from me.
So you would have taken 29 poison damage. But because you made the con save, you take half. So you take 14 poison damage.
So how much total?
14 plus 2, so 16.
Okay.
And then I'm not even going to roll the 2 things that go after Nyhm. Continue searching for Nyhm. Like, where did you go? I'm just looking around for you. They don't even get anywhere close to you this time, I'll say. The only reason I said they were on top of you is because they rolled a nat 20, but even then they couldn't detect your crazy eye stealth. Hemlock. The zombie thing moves up to you and attempts to punch you. Now that it's close enough, you can
Okay.
see that it's almost like a leather face had.
Ew, no.
And you can see like
Yeah.
snakes in the eye sockets in the mouth.
Oh, there's snakes piloting a skin suit. That's
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
17 to hit.
Yeah.
You take a whopping 3 bludgeoning damage as they snake punch you.
Oh, no.
This suddenly took a turn to the west of loathing.
And that other swarm of snakes gets into Hemlock Square and attempts to bite the crap out of her.
Oh, the snakes don't follow what I was doing.
Oh, right. They go this closer, and they move up to you.
Oh, okay. I tried.
Dirty 20.
No, that doesn't hit.
Con save. Use an online dice roller. This is nuts.
Con is 17.
Hey, you passed. You passed. So you take 5 piercing
Okay.
and only 6 poison.
Woo! Wait, you said 5?
Yeah, 5
Piercing?
piercing.
Why did I put 15? Okay, that's a lot better. All right. Yeah, okay. Oh, as a reaction, how close is Tim-Tam?
Close enough, I think. I guess. What's the range?
I gotta touch him.
Oh, sure. But you would have to move through and provoke an attack.
Yeah, I'll do it. It's fine.
Seriously? Okay. Rolled even higher that time, but not a crit. So another con save.
Con is plus 4, 15.
Okay, that passes. So
Okay.
it rolls max on the piercing damage, so you take 12 piercing. As literally every snake that tries to bite you does, apparently.
Okay.
And then the poison is half of 17, so 8 poison.
Oh my god. Okay.
Stop
Okay.
moving! As they're just like biting
Alright.
you. This is online dice roller. This isn't my Battle Dice Doom.
Yeah, well, the universe. It's
How are you
it's
looking?
the universe. You know.
You still up?
I used my reaction, so I have to use it. I touched Tim-Tam. While you're in 60 feet of me, you gain a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws, and you have resistance to all damage.
Rewarding bond?
Each time you take damage, I take the same amount of damage. So
Hemlock gets to you, and there's like a tiny little snake that's almost like an eyebrow piercing still on her.
everything is fine. I got this. I got this.
Her face is all swollen from the poison.
So remember when I told you about to fight for Hemlock?
I want to fight for my friends too.
You are literally being attacked by a swarm of snakes. I am fine. I am being attacked by a swarm of snakes on my turret. But I appreciate you a lot. It's my turn.
Yes.
I appreciate you a lot. And I say thank you. And I cast Cure Wounds on Hemlock. For 12 HP.
You're like
better than
Sam and
what I
Dean
got.
from Supernatural.
I got more points than I did before, that's for sure.
Her face started to swell, and then you cast it, and it goes like, and her face goes back to relative normalcy.
And Tim-Tam will fire to as many snakes it can.
Okay. So the same ones that have been attacking it, essentially.
Nice, yeah.
The flame.
Yeah, it's a deck save.
Okay. I've been doing their decks wrong this whole time. I thought they had a +1. They have a +4. Doesn't matter when they roll nat 1 though.
No.
Roll me that damage.
15 fire damage. Half if anyone passes.
Nothing passed. So they're like, ow, why?
Well, I don't hear that, so.
You hear the hissing of them cooking. You think? Actually, probably smells not that bad. I don't know if any of you have had snake before, but it smells decent.
I was about to say, have you ever eaten snake?
Yeah.
No, but I've been frog, which I know it doesn't have anything to do with that, but
Frog's like slimy chicken.
yeah.
Although I will say I like alligator more than I like snakes.
Yes.
Gator's great. I'm allowed to say that. I live in Florida.
Yes, you are.
Uh,
Is that Tim-Tam string?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I move so I get in front of the snake swarm? Hemlock just ran. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
There's
dumb
like a
because
snake
if they
swarm.
hit me, Hemlock will get hurt anyway.
There's like a snake swarm, and then there's like the body that's being puppeted by a snake swarm that hasn't been touched yet.
Well,
And
I'll try to get in the middle.
Not sure if you would have noticed in mid-combat, but that one didn't attack of opportunity swipe at Hemlock.
I noticed.
I like to think because it's like a zombie thing. Zombies don't really get reactions. Seems kind of silly. All right.
But it's being piloted by snakes.
It's a Jaeger.
Nyhm, it is your turn. You were hiding in a little mini trench that you made. That I said you made.
Hey, if it works, it works. I'm just sad I don't have any Earth-style spells to cast right now. I'm assuming that if I attack the snakes that are anywhere close to Hemlock or Tim-Tam, it would be sneak attack?
Yes.
Or would that count regardless because I'm hidden?
There's nothing within range for you to strike from your hidden spot. So
You say snake attack?
the second you move, you're no longer stealth.
Okay, well, even if I throw a dagger? Because you keep forgetting that. I just want to confirm before I decide on my action.
Okay, you've been using a rapier the whole time, so my brain went over here. Yeah, you can throw
you're
a
fine.
dagger and advantage against
Okay.
either the swarm or against the zombie snake thing. Both would be within the first range increment of your throwing knife.
But from what I've been seeing, didn't just attacking the shambling person just produce more snakes?
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, the snakes kind of explode out of them.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that's a bad idea being so close to allies.
Okay. So snake swarm.
Actually, I have a different idea. Give me just a moment.
Okay.
I haven't been using one of my trademark attacks.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, sorry. It took me a second. I wanted to double check something. I want to use my catapult spell, but I do want to ask, even though it's a spell, it is launching one of the ball bearings. It
Mhm.
still doesn't get the sneak attack.
It does not, because it's the spell.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of. I
So
know.
what were you going to do that you didn't want to hit the allies with?
Oh, I didn't want to explode the corpse full of snakes. Just having all the snakes land right on them is probably not the best idea.
You all noticed definitely that once the snakes were not in those bodies, they moved a lot faster.
Yeah. So I will use my ball bearings and a catapult spell. And I need a dex check, please.
Okay, I'll roll dex correctly this time. 17.
That unfortunately does pass, which means I don't believe it does.
Yeah, I think catapult save or suck.
Yeah, it's save or suck.
All right, the snakes make like a donut.
Well, I mean, I guess I was aiming at a group of snakes. I will, however,
Can
reuse
I
my
make it a
bonus.
crawler?
I'm sorry, I was talking. I couldn't hear you.
So they could make it a crawler.
So I should have just kept on talking. I'll use my bonus action to hide again, since I'm assuming that would take my
Yeah, sure.
stealth away.
Pretty much what happens is you pop up, you cast the spell, and you pop back down. Give me a stealth roll.
Stealthing it up with, Jesus, 28.
With Jesus 28. Wow, that's the largest number ever.
Sorry,
Wow,
I
that
need
was
to stop
super
using
smart
that.
ass. But yeah, you're
Well,
gone again.
I keep trying to stop using phrases like that. So yeah.
No, you're fine. And on that note, we will call it a night. Still in mid combat, because I'm like,
You're ending it on my fail.
you're at the end of the initiative. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
And I knew this fight was going to take a long time. That's why I'm like, we're not going to be able to finish this tonight. If we did, it would be like another hour.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, that's where we'll end it tonight. Plugs. That will do, because people are wonderful, and that people have stuff that they do besides play D&D sometimes. We will start with Callie, aka Hemlock.
You caught me in a yawn. Okay. Hi, I'm Callie. You can find me at Cap Callie. My entire desk just moved. You can find me at Cap Callie on Twitter. I do commissions. I have art commissions open, and it would be really awesome if you commission me. I've been working on a game that I will be running, that we will be streaming. It's called Unwritten, and it is a game about some fairy tale kids who just want their happily ever after. That's going to be on every other Tuesday at some point. Maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know.
We are using the Unfabulous
PDQ
Sorcerer
system.
of
Yeah.
Zoe
Mm-hmm.
system.
Yes, the PDQ system, and it's really cool. It's very story based versus statistics and stuff. So it's I like it because my game is going to be very story based. But you can check that out. I will when it comes closer to it, I will talk about it more.
More details soon. Follow on Twitter.
More details
Yeah.
soon. But yeah, and Friday's Retroverse. The crossover is about to end, and I'm about to crush a lot of souls, and that's just me.
And we're gonna do something this Friday that's never been done on this channel before ever.
Yeah.
No matter where the plot goes and what the cat says.
Yep. worked pretty hard on it, and and I'm nervous, but I'm excited. This will not be the end of Lyra, but it will be a goodbye for a while. So.
Sorry to have you guys follow that act, but Nyhm, you got any plugs? Nope. Okay. And I assume Saxton, you don't got any, right?
Well, I'm just going to say that these snakes seem very sus.
They are very sus.
I hate you.
And Lluis, aka Tim-Tam.
No. Say it right. Lluis.
My
Oh
cheeks
yeah, it's
hurt.
Lluis. Yeah, Lluis.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to draw this
breaking
later.
before bed.
okay, I got this. Plugs. Follow me on Twitter, Patreon. I do art, a lot of it, or I try to. Other than that, I think I'm on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday's gonna be Everybody Retroverse.
Okay,
Everybody who can,
I'm
who wants to.
on Friday. I miss my Retroverse team. And yeah, other than that, have a great day.
All right.
So if it's US, does that mean he's going to be a Naga Corvum?
What?
A Naga Corvum. Snake person Corvum.
Yanti, Corvum, maybe.
Of course.
Mm.
Uh-oh, you're giving him ideas.
That will be for an AU for another time. But thank you everyone for watching and or listening. We will see you all next Wednesday. Check out my Twitter. I have a follow page that has all of my social media links. I got stuff on the DMs Guild, including Zipdice fishing techniques and equipment, which is really cool. And our next game
It's
will
so
be the
cool.
Retroverse game on Friday. So,
Night.
good night, everybody.
Night.